Good afternoon. Welcome to Northumberland Zoo on YouTube. My name is Maxine and I work here. Today I want to show you one of our newest enclosures here at the zoo. You may have seen it already. It's been here for a couple of months. We were working on it over the summer. And yes, we actually got some new residents to join our existing ones. And you can probably hear them in the background now. They're very excitable and it doesn't matter what the weather is. They're out and about, which is pretty cool. So if you've already been to the zoo and seen them already, then let me know what you think of the new enclosure. But we just got a bit of a break in the rain for a change. Everything is so sodden wet, so I thought I would get out here and take you guys on a tour of the new place. So it's still a bit of a mess down here, but this is what happens when it rains. And of course, when we decide to do construction projects, it generally tends to be in the winter because we're super busy in the summer months helping you guys out when you come to the zoo. So these types of projects take place in the autumn and the winter, and it's just so frustrating. Anyways, this is our new exhibit that I'm going to show you today. So some of you may know that we had our parrot house, which is that really big tall building in the distance over there. We used to have in there our African greys and our blue and gold macaw, and that had specific opening times during the day, so it was only open for like 1 or 2 hours a day, and we had to have a member of staff in there because obviously parrots can be quite naughty. And it was really sad, especially with bird flu. We couldn't even open that facility, and that just meant that there was a whole exhibit that you didn't even get to see. And of course these super intelligent animals weren't getting the stimulation and the interaction that they desired. So we decided to build the African greys a totally separate enclosure, and this is it here. So in here, not only have we got our original African greys, there was 5 of them in total, but we've just gained another 7 as well. African greys are one of the most trafficked animals in the UK. These additional 7 that we got were actually confiscated as they were trying to be smuggled into the UK at an airport down south, and we lent the guys a hand at the airport by housing an additional 7 in here. So when we built this, it was with the intentions of being able to house more animals that had been confiscated. Before we moved the parrots into this enclosure, our original 5, the keepers spent a lot of time doing training with them, so actually putting crates in there and kind of treating them and rewarding them to walk into the crates. It took a little bit of time, but it only takes a peanut or 2 to convince them to go near the crates.
I've just got Buddy in a crate. It happened so quickly, so I left him, came back, popped the crate in, he went straight in. So he seems happy enough, eating away at his peanuts. So hopefully in a minute we can get Angel as well. So Angel is the last African grey to head over to the new parrot area. So we're just gonna put her back with Buddy now.
Who's making all that noise?
Rocky in the green cage.
Hello. Okay, so we're just arriving at the new aviary now. It's all ready to go. These are the first 3 parrots to arrive. Hope they like it.
I'm going to put him on a branch because I think it'll be easier for him. That's a good boy. You can do it. Good lad. Well done. Good boy. Do you want that one? Oh, what a good lad.
We've got Rico now, my favourite.
Oh, we can't have favourites.
I'm allowed favourite. She doesn't like anyone else.
Hey, what's that?
Good girl.
What's that?
Good girl.
Obviously wasn't that traumatising moving and crossing to a new enclosure because they're still happy to have a peanut. Once the parrots settled into their indoor enclosures, we waited for a really nice weather day to let them outside into their brand new outdoor aviary.
Buddy, you can go outside. Did you like that? You You go outside. Oh, what's that? Come on, Rocky. He's massive, isn't he?
These parrots, because they're ex-pets, they always feel so much more secure in what they're doing when the keepers are around, because they're so used to human attention. That's why the keepers are helping them to be brave enough to come outside. But they always make sure they get treats so that it's a positive experience. They love to dance and play too, that's what's going on just there. But he's already starting to take the place apart.
I was only looking at
Yeah, it's nice seeing them outside again. It's been a while since they've had some fresh air and some time outside. It'll be good to see what they're like when the new ones come as well.
I think it'll be nice for them to get some natural sunlight as well. Obviously we had the windows in the other building, but this is like obviously all open and stuff, so it'll be nice for them to catch some rays.
What do you think of those wallabies? Parrots are loving the view of the wallabies. Wallabies seem pretty interested too.
Once our original parrots moved out of their enclosure and into this new one, we then had some free space to receive the confiscated parrots from the airport. And they moved in straight away and went into quarantine.
Ready to go?
Drinks hold the ride, door ride.
Yay! So lovely.
We know very little. These were custom seizures, so you know we kind of know sort of what plane they came in on, and what's happened to them since they've been in this country, where they've been housed, how they've been kept. But even things like approximate ages is difficult. They haven't been sexed, so we don't know what we've got, males, females. So there's going to be a lot to learn from these guys, and I think it's just kind of down to us now for this time to kind of get to know them as well as we can, do the various tests that we need to. But they seem lovely, they seem really nice. It is hard because you don't know what you're going to get. They could have been quite aggressive towards us, and a lot more sort of frightened and wound up than they were, but they were actually really calm. They were in the crates, they were singing away, they were chatting, vocalising, so that was nice to hear. And then just came out kind of very calmly, taking it all in. We've got the vet in next week to do kind of all of his checks, but from our point of view, we're very kind of happy with how they're looking at the moment.
As well as giving them a general health check, there were several tests that we needed to do to check them for different diseases.
Really good condition again, 3.5 from 5.
We also microchipped them and weighed them while we had the opportunity.
Our ones that we already have, there would be absolutely no way that they'd be as calm as these guys. So it's pretty amazing to see these guys really chilled out and quite happy to let it happen.
Once the new parrots had finished their quarantine, it was time to move them down to the aviary with our original parrots.
They've not forgotten. They've not.
Hello. Yay, there we go.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, this one's for my Hey, buddy.
Oh, lovely.
Nice. You come in. No, you just got a stash of peanuts.
Good. Well done, guys. Oh, look at that.
Yay. That's it.
So here we are. This is the back end of the parrot house. There is a little on-show aviary thing in there, but we're still working around with lighting on that because it's not so bad today because it's a bit of a dull day, but on a really sunny day, the lights in there just aren't bright enough. So I'll take you in this back keeper area. I don't know why I don't just unlock things before I turn the camera on, and then I've got to do things awkwardly with one hand, which just... Hey, second key. Right, let's go in. Hey kids. Hello. Very creaky door. Right, so this is the offshore area of the parrot house. We have got 3 holding pens back here. We have been in here before, because remember I was showing you these really fancy recycled sign slides, which I think are really clever. Cornetto, Walls Cornetto. Hello, how you doing? Hello. So we've got a few different parrots in here. These are 2 of the new ones. The 7 youngsters that were confiscated at a major airport in the UK, they are like yearlings. They're very, very young, which means they're really, really playful, but they're also super, super destructive. So we're interested to see what state our enclosure is going to be in a few months' time. But they're super playful because obviously when these people confiscate them and bring them in, they want them to be very playful for the pet trade, so they kind of handle them a lot. It's estimated that 21% of the wild population of these African greys decreases every single year because of the pet trade. These ones are only from like the Congo and parts of Africa, and they literally go out in the wild and like catch them all up and just try and just sell them on across the borders. So the pet trade is a killer for these species. Really, really sad that loads of people get them as pets and then take them home and keep them in cages. They're so intelligent, and it's really unfair to keep them inside of cages, which is why we built them this huge place. Anyways, we've got a group of students outside that are studying this one, but she's come in to see me instead. And they can't study you if you're not out there, so you should go back out here. So this is the on-show kind of indoor den that I was saying was quite dark. So we'll just go in. So I can recognize some of the originals that we have. Up here on the top here, we have got Rocky and Rico. So Rocky is the furthest one. He's got kind of like a bare front. He's the one that's dancing. Rico's very, very easy to recognize because she's only got one eye. So on her left eye, on her left side, she's missing an eye. Down here, I think this is a newbie. There is Buddy, and there's Angel. Just through the door there is peeping. Right, so we'll leave these on-show guys alone. That's the on-show den. I'll take you outside and I'll show you the paddock, which is really, I mean, from the outside, it's difficult to tell kind of how big it is. We'll go in here and have a look. Right, so here we are. So out here, there is plenty of space to fly around. We put a few branches in, not too many, because obviously we don't want to hinder the flying. But obviously they've got kind of like a covered over kind of shelter bit at that end, so if it's really raining, at least they've kind of got somewhere to go. And then they've got access here into the indoor dens, and of course the indoor on-show den there as well. And there's a little nest box out there too. So here comes some parrots coming over to say hello. Hello, are you being super friendly? Are you being super friendly? You were following me around in there as well. Ooh. What is it? So yeah, that's our new African Grey exhibit. I hope that you enjoyed getting a little tour of that and meeting some of our birds. I'm so pleased to have them out here, and I think the parrots are loving it because all day long they can sit in this enclosure and they can see obviously over to the displays building. They can see where the keepers are coming from, the otters, obviously watch the wallabies, and then they've got access to viewing the capybara and the tapir in that direction as well. And they have loved shouting at people all day and whistling, and people have been standing here for ages watching them as well. So I think it's a really cool exhibit, and obviously in the summer when the weather's a bit nicer, I think they're going to love it even more. But the fact that they're out on a day like today is pretty cool. If you've been down to the zoo and you've seen them, what do you think of this exhibit? I think it's a massive improvement. Obviously, there's probably a question there, where's Millie gone? Millie is still on site. She's actually living in the displays building at the minute, and she's spending a lot of time with the keepers. You may see her out and about a lot more because she loves being with the keepers. She's not a massive fan of other birds, and we have found when she was mixed in with the African Greys that she didn't really appreciate them. This is something that happens a lot with birds that have been hand-reared. They find more comfort in humans than they do with other parrots. So it's really cool that we can actually give parrots to other parrots, and they really start to depend on each other rather than depend on us. But just unfortunately for Millie, that method hasn't worked for us. So Millie is off show at the minute, but she does come out and about with keepers quite a lot more, and we have got some plans to build her an off show aviary, so she'll actually live off show permanently. But we might bring her out in the shows and, like I said, ad hoc keeper meet and greets. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that little mini tour of the African grey parrot enclosure. What do you think of it? And if you've been down to the zoo and seen it already, then do let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you haven't done already, please do remember to like this video and subscribe to our Northumberland Zoo YouTube channel. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week.